Hi, thanks for checking one of our videos here on our channel. Uh, what this video is going to be about is kind of a review of this particular unit. What we do here at Fence Fixer, we're just an independent repair shop. All we do is work on things for people. We work on a lot of electric fence boxes of every brand, every make and model you can think of. If it's repairable or can be repaired or gone through, we'll work on it. I don't care how old it is. That's just what we do. We work on cattle scales and low bars for a few different brands. I can't do all of them because some of them are particular on who can work on them. So, but we do work on cattle scales and low bars and some EID tagged readers as well. But you can find out more about us down in the description area. But here's a little quick thing of our websites and stuff. We got fencerfixer.com and cattlescalerepair.com. We work on all brands, all ages, free estimates, and a 1.5 year warranty on them. And the lightning is included as part of our warranty. But if you'd like to subscribe to the channel, we'd appreciate that. Hit that thumbs up button if you like this kind of stuff. But I wanted to just kind of go through and talk about this unit, what I think of it. This is a unit that we got in for repair. It's made by a place called Taylor Fence down in Alabama. It's made in the USA, which is kind of nice. It's called the Cyclops Champ. This is a 12-volt version. They make a 110 version, but this is 12 volt. It's 6.3 stored joules, 5 output joules of shock power. People always wonder, because everybody does their Joule stuff a little different on how they rate their things. Some of them rate them in stored joules. Some of them rate them in output joules. The nice thing is, Cyclops will put both Joule ratings right on the front of their unit, so you know what you're getting. People ask me, well, what's a Joule, or what's the difference between output Joule and stored joules? Well, to simplify it on what a Joule is, I mean, there's all this math that goes into it, but just to keep it simplified to just what electric fence chargers use the word Joule for, is just think of it as the shock power, the amount of punch behind that shock that the unit's delivering, and the bigger the joules you have, the bigger the fence you can cover, the easier it is for it to fight through shorts on the fence, the stronger the shock and all that stuff. So now what output joules and stored joules, the difference between those is, the easiest way I can explain it to somebody where it makes sense is, think of it as like horsepower of an engine. Say someone manufacturer makes a small block Chevy engine, and they rate it for a 350 horsepower engine, just as a number, 500 horsepower. Say it's 500 horsepower, just to keep a nice round number. Well, that engine's got 500 horsepower at the engine, so that would be stored joules. But by the time it gets to your rear wheels, there's all that little bit of loss between what it's got at the engine and what it has by the time it hits the ground. That's your output joules, is what hits the ground. So you might have 500 horsepower engine. By the time it gets to the rear wheels, it goes through the transmission, to the drive shaft, to the differential on the back, all that stuff. It might be only 420 horsepower or 350 horsepower, something like that. So there's a little bit of loss between what it actually has and what it gets to by the time it gets to the reels. So stored joules is your engine horsepower, and output joules is your horsepower at the wheels. So everybody's got stored joules, everybody's got output joules. Some people just rate them what they want to state. It's all the same. Joules. Whether Gallagher rates all their units as stored joules, but that's what they have at the charger. But time it goes to the transformer and the board and all that stuff, you might be say 10 joule unit, but by the time it gets to the transformer stuff, you might be a 6 joule unit on the output. So that's just how all these brands do it. They just nice thing is Cyclops tells you both joules at the same time, so you kind of get the honest truth of what the thing is developing inside and what it's actually putting out at the terminals or at the fence. So now the good things are about the Cyclops brand in general is they're a really good unit for the money. You get a lot of power for the money. They're pretty well built on the inside. They got little quirky little issues with them from time to time, but you'll get some good life out of it, out of one of these units. So they're a good unit. Now they do tell you, not on this one, it doesn't for some reason. Some of them, this must be an older version. Some of them will tell you, some of them won't. But anyways, they'll tell you like minimum ground rods to use. Now, grounding is real important to electric fence boxes. I don't care what brand it is. You know, you can make a really crappy brand perform really well if you really do a good job at grounding the unit. So this unit would probably be, um, I would say minimum 3 probably, because they say for every like 2 joules you need 1 ground rod or whatever. But everybody recommends a minimum of 3 to start with on certain 5 joules or less, just because everybody's soil is different. You know, not everybody's real wet. Not, some people are really dry. Sometimes there's a lot of rock in the ground. You can't get the ground rod as deep as you'd like. You know, it all depends on your soil conditions and what you're dealing with. So, you know, the better the ground system is, the better the whole system will perform. The better chance you have of getting all the power from the unit to the fence. You know, we're not going to lose any down to the ground system, because that's usually what happens is people won't have enough ground rods for a unit, and like, well, this, and I can barely feel the shock, or it's not very hot. The animals are walking right through it. You know, stuff like that. Some of it has to do with the ground system. Some of it can have to do with, what is your voltage actually on the fence. So that's where you need like a good, fence tester to test it. And this is the one we use. This is a case off of one that we stole the board out of, but the Gallagher fence voltmeter, that's the one that we use. It's about a $50-$60 tester, but it's really good. Um, So, but the downside to Cyclops, I would say, is oh man, only really 2 things that I think of off the top of my head is they only carry a 1-year warranty right out of the box. Or like Gallagher's and Parmax and Speedrite, Stay Fix, those guys carry a 3-year warranty. As of 2020, 2 or 3 brands carry 3-year warranties, and most everybody else is up to a 1 or 2-year warranty on certain models. But they only carry a 1-year warranty on their units when you buy one. Now they come with paperwork that you can buy extended warranties with, and you do all that through the manufacturer and the paperwork that comes with it, so you can spend some more money after you buy it and get the extended warranty. But most people don't. You got to make that decision within 30 days when you buy it, and how long you want to do that warranty. You can't pick 1 year now and then like 3 months later, well, no, I want to do 4 months, or I want to do 4 years. No, you got to do either 1, 2, 3, or 4 year warranty extended at that time when you make that decision, if you decide to do it. The other thing is their plastic cases aren't the greatest. They're really nice when they're new, but as time goes on, especially if you've got, like, this is a 12-volt unit, sits outside, it's about 8 years old, and the plastic's starting to fade on it a little bit, and it won't be, I'd say, another 2 to 4 years. Probably this case is going to be pretty deteriorated, especially with it being a 12-volt unit outside. Is where this guy mounts it at. It's hooked to a 12-volt battery. Um, and what happens is, as time goes on, the plastic it fades, it gets brittle and cracks, and then you got to replace the case on it. It doesn't happen all the time, but it does. The other thing is they don't have any gaskets in their cases. They're just from about this little spot right here, that width. That's how much of an overlap there is, and actually you can see it's starting to crack right there. And there's no gas; it's just an overlapping case on there, so water can get inside these things. So if you got them outside, these 12-volt Cyclops units, you got to protect them. Build a box for them. They don't really get that hot. I mean, they'll get warm, but they're not going to sweat too much. I mean, they possibly will sweat a little bit, but they're not going to be that bad. But you got to protect them. Put a 5-gallon bucket over them. Build a little box for them. Something. Don't rely on just an overhang of a building, because you got all the other 2 sides, and the wind could be blowing around every which way and cause water to get inside. I mean, I've gotten plenty of these units in with water inside of them, so you got to protect them. No matter what brand it is, if it's outside, if it's especially if it's a straight 12-volt, most of them you got to protect somehow with some kind of protection on them. And AC units don't have any gaskets in them, and they're not even designed to be outside. If you have an AC unit, put it inside, or you'll be sending it in to me after a big storm comes through, and not to work on it for you. But let me get my fence tester out, and we'll test this unit, show you that it's working. But overall, Cyclops is a good brand. I mean, they're not a slouch. They're not the cheapest. They're not the most expensive. But for the money, they are a decent brand. So I'm going to put it across here. So we're getting it's shows over 10,000, but it's probably about 8.5 to 9.5. Probably where this is actually putting out at. This is kind of a, just a rough guess of where it's at. Guesstimate basically. It's not an accurate reading, but it's, as long as it's these Cyclops usually put out between 8 and 9,000 volts on average, maybe 9.5 on the high side. But most brands are 6 or higher on their voltage. So the other thing that's nice, it's got a little light here that actually means something. So when you get a bad enough short on the fence, this light will go out. It may still click, but this light will go out if the load on the fence, grass, dead short, whatever, is heavy enough on the fence, this will drag it down. Now, if you're unsure if it's the fence has got a problem or the charger's got a problem, just unhook the unit from the battery or unplug it from the wall. It's that way it's powered off. And then you undo your knobs, pull your fence and ground off, turn it back on. If the light goes back to flashing, you're good to go. The unit's probably okay. If it still won't flash, then you probably got a problem inside here. This unit, this guy wired on some external fuses himself, so he's got some fuses on here. These 12 volt units typically don't have fuses on them. They might have a fuse on the newer ones on the fence side over here, but they won't have it on the AC side or 12 volt side over here. I mean, on 12 volt side over here typically. But he wired up one on both sides on it. Oh no, there was a fuse there. I think it just broke and he put another one on there himself. Okay, whatever. But let's put a little spark jump on there, and I'll show you the spark this unit jumps. I just had to find a wire here to put across it so we can show you the spark it jumps. This is not a dead short, but this is a 150 ohm load, big 20 watt resistor at 150 ohms. 0 ohms is a dead short, but 150 is pretty heavy. So I'm going to touch the ground, get real close to the hot turn, watch the spark it throws. So a nice little spark from it. It's not the biggest at the end. It's only 5 output joules or 6.5 stored roughly. So it's not the biggest unit they make. It's right at the upper tier of the smaller ones. I mean, they make a Brute, a Super, Master, and Boss that are big on this. But on 12 volt, Cyclops only goes up to, I think, the Super, which is like a 12 joule, 16 joule, or 10 joule, something like that on their Cyclops Super. I think it's the biggest that they make on the 12 volt. But overall, this unit is decent. I mean, there's better brands out there. Maybe one other brand that really gives them a run for their money, I think, for longevity and lifelong, durability. That brand, but this brand is fairly good. I mean, you're gonna get some as long as you take care of things and do it right. These units will last you a while. They're not going to be one that you're going to buy now and 3 years later it craps out on you for no apparent reason, unless lightning gets a hold of it, or bad stress on the fence, or water gets inside of it, or lightning. That's my only thing that really affects these. I mean, occasionally the boards will just go bad because it went bad because of whatever reason. But for the most part, these are pretty good units. So I like them. I'll work on them. I mean, we don't get a lot of Cyclops in. We get them in yearly, but we don't get them in every week like we do some of the other, like Zariba, Blitzer, Red Snapper stuff. We get that stuff in weekly, so that just tells you, I mean, they sell a lot of them other brands, that other stuff, but, man, they're just a junky brand. But this is a really good brand in my book. So from a repair guy standpoint, this is a good unit. So, I mean, it'll fail. Something's going to go bad with it. But luckily, you can get them fixed. We work on all this stuff, so you're welcome to send it here. Like I said, all of our information is down below. But until next time, into another video of how to fix one or how one works, or a review of a video or a review of a unit, we'll see you later on.